Hi everyone, I'm Smina and this is your Sunday Newsround. Coming up in the next few minutes, we check out the latest consoles and compare the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. And the alpaca who decided to take up football. But first, a service is being held at Westminster Abbey today to remember the people who died during the Battle of Britain 80 years ago. This battle was fought in the air by pilots fighting the German Air Force and was a major turning point in World War II. The service is the first one to take place at the Abbey since the coronavirus lockdown started. There will be less people at the service, however, to allow for social distancing. Head online if you want to find out more about the Battle of Britain. Next, some entertainment news for you. And last night, we found out the next act going through to the finals of Britain's Got Talent. Magician Magical Bones wowed the judges with his performance, securing him a spot in the final next month. And Judge Alicia Dixon wore a necklace with the letters BLM on in support of the Black Lives Matter movement and Dance Act diversity. To footy now, and Gareth Bale says he can't wait to get started after rejoining Tottenham on a season-long loan from Real Madrid. He left Spurs for then world record of £85 million in 2013. He went on to score more than 100 goals and win 4 Champions Leagues with Real Madrid. However, a knee injury means he's unlikely to feature for Tottenham until the middle of October. And it was a bad opening day for Man United as they lost 3-1 at home to Crystal Palace yesterday. And the big talking point from the match was this penalty. Palace were 1-0 up, but Jordan Ayew missed the chance to make it 2. But soon after, the referee called it back. It was decided that the United keeper was off his line, so it had to be retaken, this time by Wilfried Zaha. OK, now there's been some pretty exciting gaming news over the last few days. We now know loads more details about the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. Both next-gen consoles are out in November, but how do they compare? Here's gaming expert Elle Ossoli-Wood.
At last, we've finally had all the details about the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, including how much they cost, when they're arriving, and what games they'll have. So let's compare the next-gen consoles. PlayStation has gone all in on your gaming experience. Sony wants next-generation games to feel really immersive, so they've designed the PS5 and its accessories around making you feel like you're inside the game. For example, the buttons and triggers on the new DualSense controller can be made to feel different depending on what you're playing. They might feel tough to push if you're doing something hard in the game, for example. Xbox, however, are offering the cheapest way to get your hands on a next-gen console with the Xbox Series S. This digital-only console is smaller and slightly less powerful than the Xbox Series X, but still means you can play next-gen games. That said, the drawback of buying an Xbox is missing out on big exclusives. Microsoft has focused on Game Pass instead, a monthly subscription that gives you access to around 100 games. However, Sony has popular titles like Spider-Man Miles Morales or Horizon Forbidden West, which you can't play on Xbox. Of course, when it comes to performance and how the graphics will look, there isn't really much difference between the two consoles. Next-gen games need a lot of power, so both consoles have impressive technical specs. While the Xbox Series X is a little bit more powerful, the PS5 will probably have slightly faster loading times, so overall games will look and feel great on either console.
Thanks, Elle. Now, if you thought a trip to the loo was boring, think again. Martin has been finding out about some unusual toilets in Japan. Take a look at this.
Toilets, loo, lavatory, WC. Whatever you call it, I bet you haven't seen one like this before. These unusual public toilets are in a park in Tokyo. And yep, the walls are completely see-through. But luckily, they turn cloudy when you lock the door. Thank goodness for that, eh? They've been designed so that people can check how clean they are before they go in. And there's a clever system behind it all. The walls are kept clear by an electrical current running through them. Locking the door cuts the current. Fortunately, that also means that there's no danger of all being revealed if there's a sudden power cut. Now that's what I call a loo.
Now, we've seen cats, dogs and even a chicken invading football pitches over the years. But in West Yorkshire, the non-league side Ilkley Town had an interesting surprise guest. This alpaca made an appearance during their match with Carlton Athletic, stopping play temporarily. And finally, a museum all about happiness has opened in Copenhagen in Denmark. You can read all about it online. And we want you to get in touch to let us know what makes you happy. OK, that's all we've got time for today. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.